welcome to Reefside. It's my first video I am posting, and I am shooting the sucker on nothing but my cell phone. I've been in the hobby for collectively 20 years. Ignore this, I have some orange filter on the glass so that way you guys can actually see what I'm looking at. It is a super mixed reef. Anarchoporas, Acroporas, Stylophora, all the foras. They're just kind of jammed in here. They just kept breaking, falling, growing. This one I just glued on because it was a frag from that one back there, which is actually a lot longer than it appears because those pallies that are absolutely taking over my tank are burying it. I mean, that goes down like another 2 inches at least. Got some Duncans in here. Monopora plating. I had to cut these guys the other day because they went all the way across, went the glass, went up a couple inches. And I said, yeah, I was shading that guy and he was bleaching out. I'm going to go around the corner and you're going to get a bright blue. But it was shading all these guys out, so they bleached out. But they're coming back. It's only been like a week or so. Jacques, of course, a war coral in the back. Mushroom thrown right there in the back. I just kind of throw my corals everywhere as they keep on growing and I have nowhere to put them. But this is the display. The tank stand is a custom built stand by me. It's an Aqueon tank, but I did not want to see that black rim, so I buried it. I made sure that the molding hit it both top and bottom, and the moldings mirror themselves all the way to the top and to the foot, which was awesome. It needs to be painted. It's been like 4 years, so I'm going to paint it. Up top, we got some Kessels. That spotlight, which is the reason why that guy's so damn big. It's got a spotlight on it. And I had to do an overflow, obviously, because an Aqueon doesn't have a overflow itself built in. Feeder with my 3D printed keep all the food out of the drain move there, which works amazingly. That way the fish can get all the food as opposed to it just going right over there and going down the drain. 3 fans in the back. I don't remember the brand of those, but they're awesome. And they've been, oh, GHL. I just saw it on the camera. Yeah, GHL. It's very salt creepy in there, but once a blue moon, I get in there and I clean it out. But, you know, as we all know, it comes back real fast. So the brains of the operation. Like I said, everything was custom built. I bought the tank and that tank and built it out from there. So as that's grown, I picked up a reef mat. I obviously had the skimmer that was right there. And I used to have filter socks, which I absolutely hated. So I got that bad boy and it barely squeezed in there. That barely squeezed in there. And then I thought, instead of having all these mini pumps running everything, I'm going to do a manifold on a big boy Amazon special pump down there. And it worked out beautifully. You know, when I'm fragging, I can just easily fill bags. And that just is dumping straight inside, but easily fill bags and control everything from here. So I have my frag tank valve right there. I have the sterilizer. The skimmer is a trick. It goes actually right out the wall, and I'll show you guys later on what that actually does because I work away from home quite a bit. Thank you, Coral View, for that beauty. You'll see in a minute. So then I have the chiller, I have the algae scrubber, and then I have the carbon filter, which is currently running GFO and not running at all because I bottomed out. And so I'm not trying to deal with that anymore. But it goes right through the wall. You got the right side is the drain back into the sump from outside, and all the lead lines that go out the wall. I have a backup battery in the corner that is just a PC backup battery, and it will run one of the Neros for about 4 hours or so in an event of a power outage to keep inside moving freely. So excuse the blue, I do not have my filters on the side, but it goes right through the wall and zoop, here is the big boy cabinet out in the garage. Let me flip the light on for you guys. I built this 8-foot by 4-foot cabinet because I just kept growing corals and had nowhere to put them. At the bottom has the ATO that runs from the reservoir all the way over there. I'm not going to get into detail of that because it's just a cheapy deal. Chiller. I had to buy a new one because the system got too big. And then what I was talking about inside with the Coral View, the Hydros, you'll see this right here. That is the waste from my protein skimmer. Now that sucker goes from inside right to this little valve right here. Now that is a 12 volt, normally closed ball valve. Now it will open under power, but it will close under its own power. So whenever that protein skimmer gets full, I just flip a switch, it drains it right there. I count to about 30, I turn it off, and under its own power, it will close the valve once again on its own, and then fill right back up. So, top. These cabinets, please ignore how crooked the doors are. I got some Home Depot plywood. So anyway, there is just the extra additives and whatnot. Thank you, Bulk Reef Supply, although I am very sad you guys sold out to Aperture Pets. The immediate stuff, you know, like my Neptune, I need my testing stuff, and then all the crap that we all seem to collect. Super glue, of course. I'm about to do a witch hazel treatment because I seem to have some STN. And now here is the frag tank. Yeah, bud. Let me clip on a light for you, a filter. Yeah, that's a little better now, isn't it? So inside, the hoses come to 3 places, I believe. Three, yeah. So one comes out right there. That's pumping in from the main display. Comes down here, goes in the overflow, and straight down. I'll show you that tank in a minute. The other one comes in here, goes through my algae scrubber, and then again, straight down. Now, I have a dose running Kalkwasser. This is my homemade amazingness. I didn't want to spend $300 on a Kalkster, so I got a beacon with a beacon mixer with a magnetic pill. I got a flower vase, an acrylic flower vase. I 3D printed a lid with a hole for my pH probe and a level sensor. So that way this sucker doesn't, you know how Kalkwasser is, it will overflow that tube as it's already starting to do. And then before, it would just spill down my tank. Now clearly I learned my lesson, so I put a level sensor that my Apex will turn off the dose. So all in all, this thing, oh, and I poured some acrylic at the bottom to level out the vase. So I just dropped a little magnetic pill on the inside there, and every 2 hours it stirs. And it is just amazing. It has kept all my numbers dialed. Little tablet in the top. This is running Apex, which for some reason it is not turning on. There it goes. Sorry, I must not hit the button. So it runs Apex, and it also has Hydros, the app, on there, but most of it, you know, runs on my phone. But it's there for when I'm out here, and what I would need that while I'm out here if I don't happen to have my phone on me is simple, because this isn't just a cabinet. This is where I work on my stuff. So I have it all dialed in right there. But then what's cool is this little cabinet is where all the overflow comes down to. So down here, let me clip off this. I have some annoying anemones that I had in my tank years ago, and they are flippin' massive. They're like, one of them is almost 12 inches across, and the other one's like good 8 or 9. I actually managed to breed turbo snails, which was absolutely insane. I've never seen or heard anybody breeding those type of snails before, but they bred in here, and so I got a good 30 or so. And I mean, there's a bunch you can see, and then with babies in the corner. And then so this was a 20-gallon breeder tank. And so I did is I put a piece of plexiglass, and I know plexiglass to actual glass doesn't really work with the silicone, but it's worked great. And sorry to all those who would hate on that. So anyway, spills over, and now I had originally had one drain. I don't know if you can see. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to drill a second just in case one doesn't keep up. And sure as hell, it doesn't keep up. And luckily for me. So it stays right there. It did run lower when I was doing a treatment. As you can see, the coralline algae did die. This was a few weeks ago. I was doing a treatment where the water was, I slowed it down coming out here, so it stayed right there, and this died out, but it'll come back in a few weeks. These monsters, a good 9-10 inch leathers, devil's hand, those are the ones that I keep getting frags from. And there's a few more babies in there and one in the back. because Mama here just keeps on crapping them out. But my sailfin tang acquired a taste for it, which was freaking awesome. So I ended up having to move out here before it died, and it's doing wonderfully. So what I meant by working out here is I then threw in a workstation. So that way I can cut frags, glue up, do whatever, test. Obviously I got the test. I mean, look how much crap I shove into this tank. Now, never mind that. Let's work on some fraggies with my little light right here that I got. And then if I'm taking pictures of how I used to take pictures until my acrylic decided to get all scratched up from my stupidity, I used to turn this light right down on top of it and take pictures anywhere in the display. And it worked beautifully. I'm constantly either testing or I'm working on it. Some testing equipment down there because, I love you, but you're never right. Well, you're almost right. I use using an average, a moving average. It's better. Hydros, thank you for sending me the awesome signage. It is awesome. Appreciate you. And I wish Neptune would get on board with that and send me something awesome. But anyway, yeah. This is the setup. So I'm going to be going over certain things in the future. If you guys have any questions you want to ask, how to get to where your corals are growing like flipping weeds, man, by all means, leave a comment in the description down below. I'll get into more details on how I got other things set up and how I frag, how I change water, all kinds of goodies, man. If you guys, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message and I will get on back to you. Peace.